Hey y'all. Okay, I know it's been a minute. Don't hold that against me. I know I'm supposed to be uploading every day. Life will get to you and you just start forgetting everything. So today I got some jalapeno stuff, like a popper egg rolls. I know y'all seen them going around. Every time I make them, I never make no video on it. So here we go. It's a cilantro lime jalapeno dip. I made a whole bunch of them for the whole family, y'all. And I just added some corn on the cob to that meal, because y'all know me. Just got to add something to it. Get my space right. Got some pineapples. Fresh pineapples for dessert. Y'all look, I made some fresh squeezed lemonade. If you know, then you know. I don't got my strawberry drizzle, but if you know Savannah's Kitchen, then you know the lemonade be on point. Hold on, let me get me a lemon up here. A slice of lemon. Cause y'all know I'm extra. And I want my drink to look pretty. Shoulder, straight like that. That's all y'all need. Right now, everybody's looking for non-traditional ways to, Karan, come here real quick. Who is over there? Eric? Eric. I got it. Grab this water real quick and give her some water. I keep on telling y'all, y'all gotta monitor Savannah because I can't keep stopping, so I have to edit this part out. Alright, so everybody's looking for non-traditional meals that your whole family will love, especially for the holidays, like Valentine's Day. I'm kind of getting a little festive. These egg rolls is everything. The whole family will like it. They're not quick and easy. However, I suggest prep them the day or two before, or the week before. Just throw them in the freezer. Make sure you freeze them separately, maybe some saran wrap or wax paper or something around it, and put them all in a Ziploc bag and seal it good. Or if you have one of them seal machines, you can seal an individual egg roll, you know, and then take them out. Don't let them thaw. Throw them in the hot grease and get it together. I got some butter over here, just some melted butter for my piece of corn. And so I got a lot to tell y'all, and which you probably won't be able to say. I won't be able to tell it all in one video, so we just gonna start it. Put me some butter on my corn. Y'all know I love corn. Sit that up there. All right, first bite. Y'all love this cilantro lime sauce. It's really just a little mayo, sour cream, fresh cilantro, one whole jalapeno pepper. I put a little Cajun seasoning in there this time, and a whole lime juice. One thing I forgot was my paper towels. Thank you. Y'all know I always got my production team over here. I got my makeup crew, my hair crew. They get on my nerves crew. And always the hungry crew, ready to eat up everything I don't eat in the video. But that's always the fun part. As far as the peppers, what I do is I slice them in half. I pit it out, get all the seeds out, and a lot of those fibers that make it spicy. Then I'll take my cream cheese. We probably made about 15 of them, which is kind of a lot when it comes to this kind of thing. It takes a lot of time. So I took 3 blocks of 1 pound of Philadelphia cream cheese, about 4 cups of mozzarella cheese, about a cup of bacon bits, a cup of chives, fresh chopped green onions, a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder, and black pepper. And that's it. And I mixed it all together with the peppers after I pitted them and sliced them out. I threw them in the microwave for about 6-7 minutes, let them get a little bit soft. I like the crunch. I love the different textures, like the crunchiness of the egg roll wrap, which I buy the vegan ones. And I love the crunch of vegetable, just a little texture to the pepper. I don't want it real soft. And then I love the creaminess on the inside, and then the different dip. It just really works together when you don't have everything like really overcooked, you know. Let the textures, just enjoy it. And then all your nutrients are still there if it's not overcooked. Y'all just don't know what I'm missing. So, I'm gonna get a little bit of this corn down, then I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. It's fresh corn. So when I'm being lazy, which that's exactly what it is when you pay somebody to shuck your corn, because corn can be so cheap. But if you pay them to shuck it, you paying 3 times the amount. So I buy the ones that Kroger sells like 4 or 5 in a pack, where they're halfway shucked, nice and clean, where once you warm them up, it keeps the moisture there, but you just pull it back while it's hot and it don't make a big mess in your kitchen and stuff. Boom, I'm in the microwave. And these are so tasty and sweet. All you need is a little butter. You don't need nothing else. Put my lemonade in. And then get to my story. I think my mama got to this one. Who put all this sugar in here? I like the ting tang to mine. Woo child. I must have over poured. Ain't that crazy? It tastes like my mama's grape Kool-Aid. Lord have mercy. Y'all listen. She could have had that grape Kool-Aid for sale. Woo. So when you be wanting a cheese pull like that, the trick is mix mozzarella cheese in with whatever you're doing. The shredded cheese. That mozzarella cheese give you that cheesy, just ooey gooey, if you just love cheese. I wish I could have set my camera a little closer like I normally do, but I wanted it a little faster and throw some flowers in y'all. But look at this. It's so cheesy with the bacon and the chives. Y'all see it? It's just steaming. It's so hot. Just to think, y'all got all these challenges going. When somebody eat 10 of these in 10 minutes, yeah, okay. And then your stomach just blow up. That's just too much. I don't think I've seen anybody be able to do it though. It's so funny watching y'all all try to get it done. Okay, one more bite. I know I'm holding y'all. The food's so good. I really don't like talking to eating. Which I already know all that. It's always one or the other. So, I got good news and I got bad news. Which one y'all want first? I know y'all gonna say the good news. Everybody say the good news. Send me good news. I'm gonna start off with the bad news. Bad news is this may be my last time filming one of my videos in Texas for a little while. We are moving back to Indiana due to some unfortunate event that's happened. It's only one thing going wrong. That's okay. I didn't pray about it. But I really want to talk about this thing because I just don't want anybody else to ever have to go through this. So you guys know I moved to Texas back in October. Me and my children, we relocated here. Everything's been going great. We've been able to get very acclimated and settled, and the place is nice and beautiful. Don't might bother us. We're in a gated community, and we are in one of the best school districts in the country, and we are doing our thing. We're surrounded by some of the best specialists, the doctors, and everything. But the devil always got to show up. As you guys know, I have 4 children. And my oldest, his dad, didn't really particularly care for the relocation. He can relocate, he can live his life. He can be in multiple relationships. You guys know, y'all know, they can do everything they want to do, but as soon as you do something, it's a problem. Meanwhile, all these years, while everybody was doing them, I was being a single mother. And so I never thought it was going to be a big issue because I always did what I was supposed to do and didn't bother nobody else. I don't do no courtrooms. I don't call no police. I just mind my business and take care of my children. Moving on from that. So his dad decided to petition the court for emergency full custody, which is something I never thought you can do if you don't even have joint custody, or if you, sorry guys about the lighting. You can take her with you. And so long story short, there is a way to do everything, which we know that, right? And you always think everybody cool. Oh yeah, they in support, they helping you, they making sure your vehicles is ready for the road, they're going to help you guys pack, they have gotten you connected with their acquaintances and family members in that city. They've done everything they could to help you, and then boom, one day there goes this bomb because the mama, y'all know it's the mama. Y'all know I'm not gonna bite my tongue. Grandma's always out of line, and then they wonder why we be more mad at them than the actual father of our children, right? Mind your business. That's all I'm saying. We all mind our business around here. And so long story short, we got to the point where we had to go to court. Now, me being me, and because I've raised my son all his life and I've always been his custodial parent, I did not know that it was so important that I may need an attorney, right? I'm like, attorney for what? Everybody know who took care of his life. I mean, there's no way she could give him full custody because he go to court and say, I want full custody. Well, this law, y'all, you have to know Indiana. Just don't have no kids in Indiana. That's just the bottom line. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. When you deliver, go deliver in another state, then come back home, okay? Take your mama and a few of your friends and go to the nearest state in the general hospital and deliver, and don't do it in Indiana. Then if you do that, if y'all do have to go to court, move to a different state, and when y'all reestablish that court order, and don't make it Indiana. They are ridiculous with this. If I'm not mistaken, Arizona has this same this same relocation law when it comes to custody, and possibly Missouri. I may be wrong, y'all let me know. So this particular law states that if custodial parent just not custodial parent that's a single parent that ain't never really received no child support, that's never had health insurance paid for, that's never had every other weekend, none of those things matter. So listen up. That if a custodial parent decides to relocate, she is to notify the courts immediately of her coming to this realization that she wants to relocate. When you get ready to actually relocate, you still had to, even though you notified the courts, you had to make some type of agreement with non-custodial parent. Whether he a deadbeat, he ain't never seen the child before you left town, so what you want to see him for now? Either way, or maybe that's all it was just visits and hi to McDonald's, hang out, play a game, whatever. Like, they're just friends. No parental type of guidance. That's okay, whatever. So once you establish that agreement, it says you don't even really have to file that court order. But if you had an agreement, and let's say you wrote it down and you went to a notary of public and actually had it notarized, that would have been okay too. All right? But because there was no agreement that was notarized or acknowledged, and there was no relocation notification to the courts other than when I called. This is the crazy part. When I called the courts to give them my new address, they never said, oh, Miss Turntine, go ahead and submit this paperwork too, so you'll be in, you'll lawfully be doing things. You'll be on the right side of the tracks by submitting this paperwork. Well, technically, that is legal advice. So when you call down the Marion County Clerk's office, yes, I'm calling names today, make sure you are being advised correctly. I'm not saying they ill-advised, but they don't advise enough, okay? Because if we all in this together and it truly takes a village, when I called to report my address, they still said, hold on, Ms. Turntine, there's one more piece of document that you need to do before you leave this town. You need to formally notify the courts, which is the judge, that signed that court order back in 2009 when I had my son for child support and visitation. That's the biggest thing in Indiana. Ain't that funny? Everybody get visits, whether you ever pay a dime, whether you a rapist or a drug dealer, whether you got 17 felonies or whatever. And I'm not here to judge nobody, but the state of Indiana is booty backwards. Y'all already know. Everything they do don't make no sense to nobody. And too many kids have died because of these stupid laws. So once you have notified the court correctly or come up to an agreement and got a notary of republic to sign, help you guys sign it and agree that both parties signed it, because they have been licensed to do that. So you don't, I mean, you can use a bank, but a lot of people have notaries at your mail-in centers, the post offices. I mean, you'd be shocked. Your church might have one. Just reach out and ask, because you might have resources all around you that could have helped you from having to go through the devastation that me and my family is going through. And that's truly why I'm speaking on this, because I don't want anybody ever to have to go through this. And honestly, you can do all the right things and still get dragged through this court system, because the law is the law. And even the judge told me everybody hates this law, the rich and the poor, the blind and the ones that can see 20/20. Everybody hates it, because in hindsight, you have no idea it even exists until you happen to want to relocate and your child is not 18. That's the only time you find out that this law exists. And that's only if they had a court order for child support. Now, if he never had a court order for child support and never showed up to be a legal parent, sis, you ain't got no problems. You ain't have to worry about nothing. They gonna have to get in where they fit in. You hear me? However the chips may fall, the chips may fall. But I do have one situation that I'll have to deal with. So I'll be heading back to Indiana, and that's okay. It is what it is. But when the court say, well, that's where he lived, I was like, girl, that's where I lived all his life. And then they say, well, that's where all his family is. Girl, that's my family. That's my city. Those are my people, not the dad's. That wasn't his stability. And he's relocated several times. And she said, well, he never took Quran with him. But you left him behind. Y'all sound so crazy. Listen, y'all. If you know me, then you know I was shocked. I was hurt. I've never cried that hard in my life. She told me, you either move back to Indiana or I'll be giving him full custody right now, today. I said, I got to make this decision right now. And she said, yes, right now. Okay, y'all? Okay. consider all of that, right? So I said, no. The devil is a lie. I'm not moving back to Indiana, and you gonna figure out what we gonna do, and we gotta get a mediator and all this stuff. And then here come his stinking attorney talking about black woman, y'all, young black woman, so terrible. She gonna say, listen, I'm not available for a full day of representation till June. Girl, June, did you think about my son's school schedule? Did you think about anybody else's? Girl, listen, I ain't got time. All I want to tell you is stay out my business. You know what I'm saying? Stay out. If I had my attorney, they could have played dirty together. You know, they would have crossed and went back dirty together. When we get ready to go back and forth, when you decide to represent yourself, you are able to say whatever you want to say. They just don't disrespect the judge. You speak your mind, okay? There's no such thing as biting on your tongue when somebody's trying to ruin your life. I don't care who it is. And so when you're standing there, you talking to the judge, and then the other attorney say, well, how many kids you got? And parents of multiple children, mothers of multiple children will get this, because a lot of people think this is something they can hold over your head when you have multiple children to be responsible for. They say, well, how many children you got? 4, and I've raised over 30 and mentored over 150. Next. She said nothing else, y'all. So I wanted to say relevance. Like, I don't watch Law and Order, all these law shows. Like, you might as well study law. It's just different when your heart and your emotions in it, and it's your child. You don't even know if you're thinking straight. And like the judge, she was so favorable of me, and she wrote in just the way things should be done had I decide to move back to Indiana. And so I did. Long story short, she made sure that my attorneys know to file documentation immediately and let her know that I am back in the state of Indiana, period. Because they couldn't even say Indianapolis, because we didn't even live in Indianapolis before I left. I lived in Westfield, okay? I didn't even stay in Indianapolis. Marion County Courts wasn't really my court jurisdiction, but that's another thing. Wherever you establish your custody or your child support court order, you always have to travel back to that county. So let's just say you and child's mother were deployed or stationed somewhere else, and you established paternity and delivered that child in another state. Wherever you came together for that court hearing, you have to travel back there every time. That is your judge. That is your jurisdiction. Neither one of y'all could even be from that area. You always come back. Now, you can ask for a transfer, but I don't even know who has grounds for that. I have no idea. It might be like if somebody's sickly. It will be worst case scenario, like both parents are sickly, or both parents may be deceased and the child is orphaned into another state. And then they have to just, for one, once parents, whether both parents are deceased or one dies, that court order is null and void. It does not exist anymore. So nobody can get child support out of someone that is deceased, or for someone else that's still alive that has been deceased that was court ordered to pay it. It's done, okay? So a lot of times people think, oh, you know, when you are a mom and you lose your children, those fathers are obligated to keep paying. They just got a get out of jail free card, and it'll never exist again. How about that? And whoever decides to take custody, you're taking custody on your own, and there's no child support order that can exist, okay? I had to learn all this the hard way. Now, every state has different stipulations. And let's just say both parents passed away in a car accident at the same time. That's what they consider an orphan, when both of your biological parents are deceased and you were in their custody. I don't even think you have to be in their custody to be considered an orphan. You just do not have neither one of your biological parents alive, and you are still under the age of 18. So even with that, you have to find some type of agreement to come up to where you say, if the grandparents gonna raise it. Now, what man will walk away from his child and the grandmother, well, he might be deceased. So let's just say he's alive and mom passed away. What man wouldn't want to help her if she chooses to help you raise your child? I don't know what's wrong with these men. But they'll be like, well, just give them to me, just so they can get death benefits, survivor's benefits, insurance policies, and all kind of stuff. It gets so messy, y'all. one, when you are retaining a attorney for custody and stuff, it can be the worst type of the most expensive thing you ever pay for in life. Okay, this is my first time ever retaining an attorney, and baby, this is not no traffic court. Okay, this is not no traffic court, and this is not a bankruptcy. They talking about money. They talking about putting your house up. Almost, I mean, it just remind me of a drug case or a handgun case where you get pulled over and you happen to have a handgun on you and you might not have a license to carry, or maybe your handgun license said you can carry a concealed weapon. It has to be concealed. See, every state have different laws. All I'm saying is, y'all, check them laws before they check you. You can think you are the most law-abiding citizen. You might think, oh, I'm just taking care of my responsibility. Nobody's going to not want me to do it. They're going to be happy. They're going to be proud of me. They're going to help us. I haven't got no child support since we moved. That don't mean nothing. People actually shut down when they think you are living your life, you know, and or whatever they might feel. They shut down with helping or being a part of maybe even your children's lives. Things can get really messy when people go through breakups and stuff. Another thing, so if you've ever been on the stand or part of a case and you know you gotta raise your right hand under oath, people lie under oath all the time, y'all. People lie under oath all the time. And maybe if somebody, I'm gonna tag some family court attorneys and I'm gonna put some hashtags on here so they can help me understand more and maybe some more knowledge to give me to make sure I know all my rights. When, let's just say, father obtained full custody, he didn't even report, he actually don't even live where the judge thinks he lives at. To me, that should be contempt of court. You lied to the judge and to now not possibly non-custodial parent of where her child is going to be. You have a right to always know where your child is residing, always, and their parent. On court documents, they social security is on there, they address. It's sad. What do my social security got to be on his? Why does my social security number have to be on his documentation? He could show that to the whole world. They can run through my background, even my child's. Why is that even a thing? These courts could set somebody up for failure. I can't think of one reason why they need my social security number. He might need my son's for health insurance, but I ain't never had to submit a social for health insurance a day in my life. Now, when it comes to, maybe I did, but maybe when I know for sure when it comes to life insurance, yes, that's a big deal. But most times they can look up whatever they need. They don't even need everything to be printed out and sent all over the world and notify each beneficiary. They don't do all that. You said it and you forget it. And whoever comes up and needs something, or if somebody happen to pass away, they just take care of their business and they notify who they got to notify. Putting people's business out there is so wrong, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with these courts. But if you're thinking about relocating, and I don't care if he's $10,000 behind in child support, he couldn't manage to pay $55 a week, but now he could possibly be having your child full custody in his home. Figure out what paperwork is doing. Now, you might not go through what I go through. Typically, a deadbeat stays a deadbeat. They don't never switch the agenda. Typically, a standoff father, they kind of like hit and miss because he want to party and do whatever. They always stay a standoff father. There hardly is ever a 360 in there. But hey, we can pray for him all day, but it's hardly ever exists. It's always going to be a game. It's always a name to the game. And so if you got a situation going on and there is a court order in Marion County, just submit that, just when you first think in your mind. Now they're going to ask you for addresses and everything. This is why I told her there's no way I could have submitted that, because it takes so long to get your information to move. But you're not about to wait 3 months to move. When you get your address, nobody's going to hold your unit for you for 3 or 4 months while a judge discuss things, or a couple weeks. Like, you find out when I find out. Schools, you can know about the district, but you may not know about the school until you actually get proof of your place. You know, just play your cards right. Pray about your situation. And just know that things can turn for the worse. No matter who people are, everything you thought they were, that is not who they are. You cannot trust anybody. You cannot be good to people and they don't turn their back on you. Backstabbers always are going to be in our lives forever. You have to be ahead of the game. Typically, that's me. I like to stay 2 steps ahead. I don't like to have to play catch up. That's not me. So I really was like, since he was old, you know, he always knew I wanted to get out here for the last couple of years. And he was relocating all different places. He even was saying he was going to relocate here because one of the young ladies he dated, she lives here. This is where she moved to. Now he acting like he's in oblivion. Now he did tell the courts, yeah, she's been wanting to move to Texas for years. Yeah, she's been talking. Yeah, I knew. What? The judge just sat there. Because then the attorney is like, you did not notify. But he's saying, yeah, I knew. How soon did Miss Turntime notify you of the relocation? Well, I've been knowing she wanted to move for years. Well, you know you got to find somewhere to live and relocate doctors and school. It's a little more than that when you got kids, right? So you knew I wanted to leave. And you actually did know. Now, my attorney said find all text messages and everything that he knew, and he was helping me fix my car and possibly want to help me load the truck and all of that, you know. And when I came into the situation of knowing that I was going to be bucking up against this, was like 4 days before we load my moving truck. So it wasn't like I knew the whole time, or I probably would have went on and went down the course and find out. I was so late in the game, you know. Long story short, you really want to make sure your paperwork is good, no matter what. Or tell them dudes to sign them over. If you don't plan on stepping up, I got another friend. She's going through a situation where her child's father don't want to sign for her daughter to have a passport. You just want to hold up the family vacation. What kind of demon is that in you? You don't do nothing for her. Nothing. You don't even see her. She ain't seen you in years. But you want to hold up family vacation because when they think they got power to stir up your household or to stop something, they use it. It's sad. They use it. I don't know who be reminding them about these laws and stuff. I always say the mamas, period. And I'm going to stand on that to the day I die. Because if the mothers knew the whole situation, you'd be ashamed to even open your mouth and you raise somebody that don't take care of their kids. That's a shame, y'all. But you know what? I'm about to start on these pineapples. And I also want to let y'all know that I will be doing some filming in Indiana. And I'll probably be adding my nieces and some family members. We're going to do a big one for Karan's birthday and stuff too. But listen, stay true to yourself and say what you mean and mean what you say. Because there are people that hide behind things and are afraid to speak their mind. This ain't the time. You stand up and you fight for you and your family. This is not the time, period. And when because I know that our lawyers and stuff are involved, I was like, well, what kind of case? I'm like, what can I talk about? I said, I got a YouTube platform. I got a lot of people that look to me or look up to me that want to hear this. They want to know how things are going on. What can I do? What can I tell her? She said, you can always tell your story as long as it's the truth. She said, you can mention anybody in the world in your story. Whatever you say, as long as it's the truth. Period. With this being the season of exposing, there's a lot of stuff coming out. And God is bringing a lot of stuff to the light. And I do believe these are end times, okay? If you're a believer, then you know it's a lot going on that just seems so unfair, so not real. They had a crash here, a pileup. Literally, it looks like my kids was playing with, like my son Dawson, he loves toy cars and trucks, so he rammed them into each other, stacked them on top of each other. As I'm watching that video, it just looks like somebody pushing the cars down the expressway into each other. Unbelievable. over 70 vehicles, over 60 people taken to the hospital, and they lost 6 people to death. I was reading the bios they put up of each person that passed away. They were good, outstanding citizens. You know, they were parents. These families are suffering. Some families lost 2 or 3 family members in that vehicle. It's so sad. They were pillars in their community. I'm so glad the news thought to document each life like that. Because I know that family is messed up. Like one family, the guy owned 2 Jason's Deli, one in Mansfield and one in somewhere else in the Dallas area. I can't think. Arlington. One in Mansfield, one in Arlington, I want to say. His wife had been looking for him since 6 that morning. She still had not talked to him. They took all day, almost 7 hours to notify her husband was deceased out there in that pileup. Okay, y'all? It was not a game. First responders couldn't even get to him. They had to treat the roads or get out of their responding vehicles and walk down the overpass of that interstate to even be able to get to those cars because it was so slick. It's like somebody came through and dropped a bunch of water in that area. It's unbelievable. In our area, we're in the Frisco. We're north, about 25 minutes north of 35 West, down there where they were at. So they were south of us, and that interstate is always a mess. A lady, just a couple weeks ago, I went out to get some Caribbean Jamaican food, and we passed it up. Everything was just fine within minutes. When I say God is good, within minutes, this lady had hit 6 cars and killed a school teacher. Yes, she did. Drunk driver. They drive so crazy up on that interstate. It's not funny. And the bad part is they're doing construction in that area, and the lanes are narrow. So when I say they were all jammed in between them brick walls that they have makeshift put up, if you go to that area, y'all know what I'm talking about. These lanes are not your normal size. It's just big enough for those big tractor trailers to come through. And if something go wrong, you are tracked. Like they had a video of a guy as the 16-wheeler is headed toward him, he's jumping over that brick wall to save himself. Cause ain't no way to move in a car. And he's just looking around him watching all those trucks come fly into him. There's too much going on. There's too much going on. And life is just really short. It's good to treat people good. Whatever you got going on, apologize. I know everybody took a lot of losses last year. There's no reason to be spiteful and want to hold people back from what they're trying to do in life. Especially if you don't have a stable, a better plan, you know. So yeah, I will be keeping y'all updated on the case. Because I chose to move back to Indiana, the custody part won't be not an issue come next week. But then we have to start working on the relocation documentation and coming to seeing a mediator. She said we have to see a mediator. And so, which is another attorney that mediates between the 2 attorneys and the 2 parents. Y'all, you know, she told me it could take anywhere from 10 minutes to 3 hours to a whole day. I said, you would think people really love their kids and really been there. I said, are you kidding? She said, yes. Like, that mediation could really be a big deal. I'm like, oh my God, what a nasty, sticky situation. I ain't asked for none of this. That's a mess. I can never see myself sitting on attorney's office for a whole day for a child I done took care of his whole life. So y'all pray for my strength. Pray for my patience. And I've learned a lot, and it will never happen again. Okay. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. And nope, I don't plan on having no more kids in the state of Indiana. It's over. It's over. And then the fact of how they reinstate parental rights, and they don't even go and check no backgrounds. By the way, y'all, they didn't go to no house. They didn't ask what school district he gonna be living in, what food he gonna be eating, how he gonna get to the doctor's office. They just say he got a car. Yep. He got a place to live. Yep. He got a job. Yep. He just started that job before we got here. That's it. That's all that was asked. So, y'all know that could be super, super horrible or super, super good. It don't even matter. None of that matter in the courtroom. So, that's one thing I wanted to say, because I really did not get an attorney, because I'm thinking, there's no way you can prove that you've been there like that. Well, guess what? You don't have to. His attorney didn't have to say much of nothing, because she knew what law stood. And there are 3 factors they went by. So I'm going to go back over this with y'all again. When you plan to relocate, you have to put, you should. I'm not going to say you have to, because you might not be dealing with the situation or family that I'm dealing with. You want to file proper documentation with the court. Notify them of relocation. They're going to notify him, even though you might have already told him. See, verbal things and text, all that stuff don't mean nothing. Okay? They can be over to help. They can help you pay for the relocation. It really means nothing. Okay? Because there's nothing been written in stone and notarized and signed in agreement being made, okay? So you want to make sure you file that notification to the courts, and then you want to make sure you guys come to a real life agreement, sign, okay? And make sure it's official. Submit that to the courts, your agreement. They're going to be on your side pretty much anyway, so you don't have to worry about from running from the situation, but you have to worry about the fact that the state of Indiana figures that whenever a child is relocated, they don't want nobody leaving their state. Them demons got a lot of nerve, because they ain't got no opportunity. They ain't really trying to help nobody, okay? But they really don't want nobody to leave their state, whatever. Especially underage, because they really want you to stay and be a product to their community if they're willing to help you. But for our black people, that's not really the case either. So we're going to make sure we talk about that in another video too. Y'all know young black males in the state of Indiana, excuse me, you're either in one of their institutions or maybe even already deceased before you even get old enough to choose which institution, which kind of crime you're going to go to, okay? Go and do. Long story short, you really want to make sure you are protecting you. They say they're in best interest of the child. That is not true. You want to hire a guardian ad litem to be a part of your case. The decisions they make do not be in best interest of the child. The decisions they make could kill your child, okay? There are so many children who have died in the state of Indiana within 3 weeks of being returned to a non-custodial parent who they decided to give custody or return them back to an old custodial parent based on what a DCS worker said or whatever the judge decides to say. They sit on them thrones, y'all. They don't leave. They don't go walk the streets of Indianapolis, okay? They don't go and knock on no doors and see how these kids is really living. They don't come to check out the welfare of your child. They just don't. And y'all know even when DCS come, they coming to close your case. That's it. They don't have enough manpower to do their job. And they stress out the workers so much that a lot of children has had to die from decisions that were made that shouldn't have never been made. But like I said, you know your child personally, and you gonna fight for yours. So you just make sure you play your cards right. These people don't know you from the man in the moon. You're one of 50,000 that come through that courtroom a year trying to, first of all, why do you need a white man to tell you how to raise your child? Or to tell you to go pay your child support or cover the insurance? Why do you need that? That is so absurd to me. Like, I don't need nobody to tell me to take care of my kids, but there are men. Y'all know, it's more them than women, but there's a lot of women that need that too, where it's just that structure. They're so institutionalized, they need somebody standing over them, forcing them to do something, bossing them around to stay in a structured mindset. They can't stay focused. So with all that being said, I'm about to hop up off here because we done made it to about probably about 40 minutes once I edit it, possibly. But we're going to do this again. And like I said, we're going to do, my oldest, his birthday is coming up. So we're going to make another video. And y'all pray for us because we'll be heading home. And I know it's supposed to be all these storms coming through different states and stuff. Hopefully we kind of bypass it. Because we're going to kind of like get there before the winter weather advisories actually are supposed to start. But y'all know how Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri is. They actually got winter weather advisories all out in Texas too. So it's supposed to be 0 degrees tomorrow. 0, okay? And so yeah, y'all pray for us that we stay warm and safe on this road. We got about a 12-13 hour drive, but we plan on rolling it straight through. I don't really like stopping and stuff, but if you get tired, you pull over, you get some rest and get back on the road because your life means more. And what you hurry into? What you hurry into? Y'all, I'm so mad, but that's okay. If you have any information that can help me in this situation, comment down below. I'm gonna leave my email address in the description. I'm also going to tag Mama's Kitchen, the lady who came up with these Popper egg roll recipes, and she can kind of give y'all an idea of how she did it. She actually came out with the seafood one after I did it. And Eat With Me, what was her name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. She did it, and she added the lobster and the snow crab and that shrimp. Honey, that's the one for me. I loved it. But my kids are all allergic to seafood and stuff. They don't really care for it. So I had to do the regular jalapeno poppers, you know, egg rolls. But they are delicious either way. Either way. And some of y'all, you might be able to make up half of your mix and throw your seafood in because it's the same ground ingredients. You just don't put the bacon in it. You put the seafood in instead and put some Old Bay. And then make you an Old Bay and Cajun type, put inside your cilantro lime sauce. And that's it. And make sure you got your sour cream and stuff. Some people like this sauce to be a little bit thicker like this. And then some people make this sauce runny. They put more water in it. That's all you doing. So when you put it in the blender and blend it all up, I don't know if I told y'all that. They just add a little water. But yeah, y'all. So y'all hang in there and pray for your girl. And make sure you send me whatever advice and always good vibes. And I'll talk to you later. Peace. I forgot. Don't forget to go like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget to tell y'all that. Ain't that crazy? But anyways, support your girl.